In honor of Women's History Month and one of my favorite ingenue / muse / breaker of molds, I want to talk a little bit about my grandma Hazeline, or Hazeline. You decide. I'm also an Anna. Again, you decide. But we're going to talk about this amazing woman. She was amazing to me. Not nearly as fancy, but yeah, so my grandma Hazeline, she's just one of those people that inspired me from the get-go. She did things her way. She broke a lot of rules. She moved to Chicago just to try it out, which was not a thing that small town girls did back then. And she became a department store model, which was one of those fab things you see in like silver screen movies, but instead of having mannequins, when new season collections would come out, women would actually like model those things in the department stores, like Talbots or Belks or whatever they were called back then. But anyway, so that's what she did. That's why she looks so cool here. I definitely did not inherit all of the grace she had. She had this special way of being where like even when she did stuff like this, it was like nothing ever really touched. It was like she's not really leaning on her hand. It just looks so beautiful though. Not me. I'm much more of a bull in a china shop, as you will see by the way that I handle these delicate things. So I found a ring in her jewelry box that eventually became the Hazeline. It was just this really beautiful, vintage, delicate, romantic ring with the little, intricate prongs and all those little details on the side of the basket. And I decided, how can I make this an homage to her that's also like just real proper badass and cool and weird, and how can I make it punk? How can I like take it and flip it into something totally like no other ring you've ever seen before? So the very first Hazeline, actually, I had a gemstone made of gold set into the gold ring, and then I hid the diamond on the inside because I wanted it to be like more of a token, like more of a keepsakey icon, like a token of someone's affection, or just even like capturing like a moment in time, like it was alchemized in gold, like instead of it being a gemstone and a ring, it was just the gold. So that was the first one. Then came the Ceremonial Collection. People were like, oh my God, I love that ring. It's so cool. Could you make it with a diamond? And I thought I probably could do that, couldn't I? So then I started sitting down and drawing them. And I drew Hazelines. I drew Hazelines with nesting bands. I drew Hazelines with 3 stones. I played with it a bit, and then we started making actual Hazelines with actual diamonds. So in the very beginning, because I was such a purist, I was having someone make the original Hazelines out of metal. So they would actually, I had a person, an amazing artisan in New York City, that would carve these out of silver. And so that was how this very first one that we made for the bridal collection was assembled. So the basket and the shank are 2 separate pieces, and that was because I wanted to be able to, again, break some rules and make these rings with like rose gold and platinum together, or mixing in diamonds and things like this, which brings us to the next step. So nowadays we make them in a CAD program, and when they're output, they look like this, which is super cool. You can see all the teeny little delicate details are in there. The beautiful detailing on the basket is there, but it's made first off in a computer, which is actually a good thing because that means that we can make them to fit any stone, any finger size, and we can adjust and make all kinds of bespoke kind of modifications to the design, because often we have people that want them in a pear shape, or emerald cut, or Asher cut, or perhaps somebody wants to do a different kind of shank. So we do a ring shank that's actually like just really simple and knife edge that feels vintage, but it's also kind of like that sort of more modern, like deco kind of vibe. So anyway, that's what comes out of the CAD. And then from there, we end up with just what we call the semi-mount, which is the ring without a stone in the middle, but it has all the intricate detailing, and you see how beautifully it casts when it comes out of the casting. And next up, we pick out some diamonds. So for example, if this one was going to be a black diamond, we would look at a few different and choose one. And then that diamond would go into the setting and you would get a finished ring. Voila, just like this. With the little prongs set there, the little diamonds in the shank. And then the whole idea is that, you know, how many can you fit? Sky's the limit, I think. But yeah, so that's where we started with the Hazeline. So in summation, you may have seen we're passing around this beautiful little ad-libs where you can fill in the blanks on somebody wonderful in your world, a wonderful woman in your world, and your experience, to talk about how they made a mark on you. Hazeline definitely made a mark on me. I also have too many sisters to count, too many sisters to even fill out ad-libs for all of them, but pick one, pick 5, put them forth. Also on Friday, tune in to our talk on Clubhouse. It's coming up at noon this Friday. And I'll be speaking with some badass female founders. We'll be taking questions as part of the 2 million minutes movement that the We Suite has put together. And I'll be talking with Mariah Lyons from Astara. I'll be talking with Ashley and Meredith from Fleur Marsh, Danielle Cuchillo, who's an amazing somatologist, and then me. So thanks for tuning in. Have an amazing week.